Team, we do have different types of architectures available. You hear, right? Two-tier architecture, three-tier architecture. What are these architectures? Have you heard anywhere two-tier architecture? Anybody? Have you heard two-tier architecture? What is two-tier architecture? What is two-tier architecture? Have you heard anywhere? Anybody? Correct, Paul. Excellent. All right. Client server architecture. Excellent. Suppose, team, I'll tell you in simple generic words in layman language. You wrote a Java program. Imagine you wrote a Java program. Once you write the Java program, you want it to connect to some database. You want it to connect to some database and you want it to execute some functionality, whether to put some data or to get some data or whatever, right? So here in this scenario, your application is directly communicating with the database. Your Java program or .NET program, whatever, it is directly communicating with the database. That's client server architecture, I can say. But generally, team, in client server architectures, we host client and server on the same machine. We host client and server on the same machine. Generally speaking, previous days architecture it was. So you usually host client and server on the same machine. If I install database on my laptop, if I run a Java program on my laptop to connect to the database, yes, that's client server architecture. This was earlier days architecture. Nobody is using nowadays. So need not to worry. Nobody is using nowadays client server architecture. It was earlier days architecture. Nowadays, we are understanding three-tier architecture. We've been using three-tier architecture. Let me explain you clearly what is three-tier architecture, how to understand three-tier architecture. So team, simple. You have your banking application here hosted somewhere in some data center. Your organization must have its data center somewhere in New York or New Jersey somewhere. So here I have my banking application hosted. I have my banking application hosted. Once you host your banking application here, tell me, how do you access this banking application? By what means or by using what tools or technologies you access your banking application? Tell me, team. How do you access your banking application? Right, I see many things. Akshay, do you face any issue while asking me a question? So there is a questions panel. You can open that in your GoToWebinar window. You can type in your question over there. Suppose if I am saying hi, so you will see that questions popped up to you. So there you can post your questions. Hope you understood. Please reply me back if you understand. All right, fine. I'm not seeing any other questions apart from mine. So Akshay, you don't see by default. Yeah, that is expected. That is expected. You don't see any other questions. Yeah. Jyoti, the same way where you put the question, just write your answer also there. So I see your answers like this only. You mentioned, right, how to answer your question. The same way, write the answer also. I read it. Perfect. Yeah, same window. All right. So I got different responses. Yeah, when I say banking application access. Initial days, team, long ago, when this mobile revolution was not there, when smartphone revolution was not there, we used to use browsers. We used to use browsers, and by using browser, we used to send the request to our server, www.myapplication.com. It used to hit the server, and we used to get the response. Yes, of course, nowadays also we are using, but initial days, this was the only way we started using. So by using browsers, you communicate with banking applications, and you got the response. Here, the first point we need to understand, Is this browser on the server or on the same machine or different machines? This browser and that server, are they on the same machine or different machines? What do you think? So different machines, obviously. The browser belongs to my machine or my mobile or my office machine or my personal machine, doesn't matter. Browser can be anywhere, but you can still send the request to server. So that is how, team. Yes, browser is one of the clients. Browser is one of the clients that communicate with your banking application. That communicates with your banking application. Times passed, time is passed. We started using different ways of accessing our applications nowadays. We started using mobile apps nowadays. We started using mobile apps nowadays. By using mobile applications also, we are communicating with our banking applications. We are communicating with our banking application. So the point here, team, you used browser earlier, it is connecting to server. When it comes to mobile app, you are downloading mobile app in your mobile and you are launching it to access banking application. Do you think the banking software is installed in your mobile? Do you think the complete banking software is installed in your mobile? No, absolutely not. That mobile app is nothing but a simple interface. It's a simple interface that communicates with your banking application. That communicates with your banking application, right? That's a simple UI, user interface. So like this, we started using our application. And nowadays, if you see, voice over messaging system also started. With messages also, you are communicating with your applications. A few banks are offering send SMS to so and so number to know your account balance. Press 1 to increase your credit card limit. These kind of things also we have been hearing nowadays. So with messages also, we started doing banking activities. I just took this example to explain you how we started interacting with our enterprise applications team. Different ways we started using applications, and we are giving requests by using any of these. The requests are hitting the server. Inside server, you are hosting your banking application. Inside server, you are hosting your banking application. Your banking application in turn communicates with a backend database. Your banking application in turn communicates with a backend database, and it fetches the results and it shows you. So this is how, team, if you closely observe here, there are three tiers. Left hand section, you can call it as tier 1. Left hand section, you can call it as tier 1. And the right hand section, you can call it as tier 3. And in the middle, you have tier 2, or tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, or client tier, middle tier, backend tier. So this is how, team, this is three-tier architecture, three tiers you see, three-tier architecture. If you see from infrastructure standpoint, client tier, middleware or middle tier, and backend tier, database tier. If you see from application standpoint, the first piece is called as presentation layer. Presentation layer in the sense, the look and feel, what you are seeing. The look and feel is presentation layer, whatever you see, whatever you feel, the radio buttons, the select boxes or check boxes or buttons, whatever you see, they are all presentation layer, look and feel. And in the middle, where exactly your data gets processed, that is middleware. And finally, in the backend, you have data. So this is presentation layer, whatever you see here. And this is business layer, where exactly your business logic lies. And this is data layer, where data gets processed. So if you see from code standpoint, application development standpoint also, there are three tiers. There are three tiers. So this is three-tier architecture, team. We started using three-tier architectures. We started using three-tier architectures to host our applications. Any questions, anyone? Any questions, anyone? All clear, hopefully. These are all basics, team. We need to understand basics before we move further. All right, I don't see any questions. Of course, responses also, only Paul has been responding. Thanks, Paul. Okay, so 3-tier, 2-tier architectures we started understanding.